Y'all gonna be like, man, this boy Dwight crazy. We did not know he was like this until we got him on camera. He's crazy.
So welcome to Entirely NBA, hosted by Entirely Media. It is our pleasure, real quick, to have actually, in my opinion, the second most dominant player, if not the first most dominant player I've ever seen in my life play.
You can say second. You can say outside of Shaq.
Out of respect. And, I am your host, Darion Robinson.
Co-host, my name is Murph.
And of course, we got our guy, Dwight Howard. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm ready for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
For sure.
Oh, you kept seeing him biting his glove, right?
Man, he was biting his glove the whole night. I'm like, Mike, are you trying to go back? You want to bite this man? What are you doing? He was tripping. He had more action. He had more action with his glove than he had with Jake Paul the whole fight. I'm like, man, throw a punch, man.
He only threw 97 the whole match. The whole thing. He only threw 97 punches. Yeah.
He threw more punches in the documentary than he did in the actual fight. He's bugging out.
Oh, that's crazy. Man, look, man. I honestly thought, and look, we did the video yesterday with you, right? Talking about you were on OGs, and you were saying, obviously, you know, Mike's 60, 70, 80 years old, he ain't got the stamina. And I was like, damn, man, I don't want to agree with Dwight. I know Mike still got this, bro. And then that third round came.
That third round, it was over.
He was tired when he walked out from the weigh-in tired.
Yeah, he said he ain't got that animal in him no more. He cares about his image and his kids. So I was like, all right, I can respect that. And you 60 years old, so
I don't have no animals. No animals no more. It's all about my kids. My kids.
That's crazy.
That's why. So when you getting in the ring?
When I'm getting in the ring, man, I'm not finna be doing none of that stuff, man. What?
Nah, you gotta get out there. You gotta get out. Hey, yo, speaking. For what? I'm sure. Look, I'm sure based on some of the shit you said over the years, I'm sure there's somebody that wants to get in there with you.
But why? I don't be saying nothing. That's the only person that act like they mad at stuff I say would be Shaq. But
that's true.
I don't know why he always. I'm the real Superman. I did it first. I want to start here. Okay, man, you won. God dang.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about that title as Superman, and so I got a question for you, for the record. And I know you said it before. How fucking tall are you, legitimately?
I'm really probably like 6'10". I don't know, 6'10", really. Maybe on a good day. I just, I stand tall and
yeah.
I got long legs, so I might look tall, but I ain't really no 7-footer like people think. So
yeah, and that's
I didn't even come into the league playing center. I came into the league playing power forward.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's what we're saying when we talk about that Superman title. Legitimately, everything that you were doing at 6'10", some were saying 6'9". That right there alone is why you were.
That's why my teammates and everybody was calling me Superman, because of what I was doing, like off the court, in the weight room. I remember one practice I jumped over Bo Outlaw, and Bo Outlaw was the same height as me. So like when I did that, they're like, "Man, you really like Superman? Like you jumping over people in practice? You lifted all the weights in the weight room, like you just and you having fun doing it. So it's not like it was I'm trying to be like Shaq. Like, to be honest, I never paid attention to Shaq until I saw him win with against Philly. That's the first time I really knew who Shaq was, when they beat Philly at the Lakers. I was in 11th grade, and I was like, dang, he doing Mutombo dirty. Just every play, elbow to the chest, dunk. That's not even legal. But it wasn't nothing. The Superman came from all that, and then I used to do the Soulja Boy dance all day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Everything was Soulja Boy.
Yeah,
So
that's what you did after the dunk, right?
Yeah, after the dunk. That's why everybody was calling me Superman, because I could not stop listening to Soulja Boy. I was 18, just got into the league. Soulja Boy was hot. So everything was everything was great. That Soulja Boy, everything was Superman, that whole. So, for Shaq to take it as me trying to like steal his I don't know. That's some like insecure, like little stuff on my end. That's what I take there.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to deal with timing, like you said. Like that's when Soldier Boy was hot, everything was there. So it's like it's just ironic. Shaq had the same name. That's it. They play the same sport.
If anybody should be upset, hell, it should be Soldier Boy. Like he should be upset at anybody because I'm the one saying I'm Superman instead of him. So yeah, it's crazy. It's all good.
I'm glad you bring up. I'm glad you bring up that time frame. So, 18 years old, even before that, in my opinion, bro, you are the most decorative high school player, in my opinion, to ever come out. That's first
Outside of LeBron.
Well, LeBron.
Yeah,
Okay,
outside
okay,
of
sure,
LeBron, yeah.
sure, sure.
Outside of
LeBron too. That's a given. That's a given. But so
I would agree with that.
yeah, no, seriously, bro, it's insane. So, real quick, just this is the only time I want to spend on that time. What was that high school run like for you? What did you feel like?
Man, I always think about my time in high school because that was like my last time of innocence. That was my last time to just hoop, and it just was hoop. And it didn't have no
Yeah.
consequence on it. Win, lose, or draw, I was just hooping. And so the friendships that I had in high school, all that stuff I knew, a lot of that stuff was going to end and be different because I was about to go to the league. So
Yeah.
it was like, man, let me enjoy these moments of being in high school or being able to play the guard like I did. Just be free on the court, do all that stuff. Because I knew once I crossed that stage, my life was going to be totally different. And high school was it was fun, but I was locked in for real. Like I got up every morning, 4 o'clock, went to the track, went to the field. I mean, went to the gym after that, went to the weight room. Like everything I had was prepared me for the NBA. So only thing on my mind in high school was how can I get to the next level? And that's what I did every single day. I didn't think too much about anything else. I did have some college coaches in high school would come to our high school games. The NBA scouts started coming. But I was just like, man, this is my last year of high school, man. It's not going to be the same after this. So let me not focus too much on what's going to happen ahead, but just stay in this moment. Because once I get to the league, it's a wrap. It's going to be
That's a
all
wrap.
basketball every day. So it's like, man, I got to enjoy this, man. It was bittersweet though. I will say because it was some great moments, and then it was some moments where I was like, dang, I'm gonna lose a lot of friends. I'm not. It's not gonna be the same. People gonna look at me different because I'm in the NBA now. They gonna think that. It's just so many things that I was thinking about.
Right.
But it was a good run.
So it's interesting. So one piece of advice would you give to high school kids now that are looking to obviously make that journey into the league if possible?
So many. There's so much to say.
Yeah, just one.
One piece of advice. Oh man.
And it doesn't even have to be basketball related. Because basically what I just heard from you is you wanted to live in that moment because you knew what was ahead. So I
Yeah,
like
I knew that. Well,
internal
yeah.
thinking part.
Don't ever let anything steal your joy. It's going to be so much that comes at you when you are a professional athlete. And we've seen athletes burn out or crash out, or get to that place where they're mentally like going nuts because when we do what we do, it takes a lot of energy that just when you're playing in the NBA, for example. I can give this example. Everything in our life is revolved around the NBA. We're spending more time on the court. We're spending more time with our teammates. We're spending more time with the people that's not in our actually family. We're spending more time with them than anybody else in the world. So now, like, when that is gone or not playing is there, who do you talk to? Who on the outside will know what it's like to be a Dwight Howard type of person?
Yeah.
Right.
Be famous all around the world, have to deal with not being able to trust people, all these different things. What kind of, like, who can I go to talk to these issues with? So, yeah, it's very tough for a youngin' to come in.
I say not only like were you 18 going into the NBA playing against a bunch of at that time I don't think it was such a big thing? Like it was like a lot of people got drafted from high school, but what were some of the pressure being 18 and also being a number one pick going into the NBA? Or what were your thoughts going into the NBA?
Shoot, I was so young and green. I was just thinking about basketball and hooping. Nothing else. I couldn't even know what I like. Even now, I'm like trying to think, what was I thinking about back then? But,
Yeah.
I mean, when you're 18, you just been given the keys to a franchise. You're given the keys to a new city. You come from a school that only had 16 people in your class. Like, now it's like you got the whole world. Like, what do? You don't know what, like, now you're introduced to millions of women. You're introduced to millions of money, millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how would anybody in this position handle that? 18, everybody in that position be like, oh, I want this, I want to do that, I want to
Right.
go here, I want to go. I'm a millionaire. Like, all these things, it's like your dream come true. So you're going to have a lot of fuck ups during that time period because it's like, what else is there? You don't know no better. You are freshly into a whole new world that only 1% of people can actually understand it. You know what I'm saying? So it was difficult coming in.
Did you have like a financial advisor or anything when you go in there? That's just a side question.
I had a financial advisor, but they didn't really know. They never dealt with the money that I was making coming in. Even as
Yeah.
a financial advisor, my parents didn't know who to talk to because, they never been in that position to have millions of dollars come in, what to do and all that stuff. So it was like a grace period for all of us. And that's the most difficult thing about being in the NBA is having the family piece and the money piece. Because as soon as you walk across that stage, everybody that know you or thought they knew you or think that you cousins or something, now all of a sudden they got their hand out. Like, people done asked me for some ridiculous amounts of money, like
Yeah.
$35 million for this.
God damn.
Like,
That
I'm
even
like, what? I ain't even got the 35 million yet. The USC for it.
They got no shame.
Oh shit.
People don't care. People don't care, and they only
Yeah.
see you as that same person that you was when they last saw you. So you got to think, for me, from coming out of high school at 18, everybody still see me, and I still look young, but I ain't 18 years old, and everybody still see me as the 18-year-old Dwight. So everything is, that's still little Dwight. That's still, when he was in middle school and high school, that's still him. They don't see the progression, or they don't see, the growth, because they're actually not around it. They only see what is plastered on TV and what is being said in the media. So, it's a very tough thing for, athletes to be in this world with that.
So then, real quick, this wasn't on the list, but kind of flowing. For you emotionally, right? At least in my perspective, I'm sure we're similar in aspect. I know it's hard to obviously get that type of money, to get that type of resources, and separate wanting to provide for them, like you were just saying, and then being like, nah, I really can't, I shouldn't. So what did that do to you emotionally, and how'd you deal with that part of it?
It really hurt because, you want to help, but the more you help, in actuality, the more you're being a crutch to anybody that you are helping, because it's like
Yeah.
you're providing the services and doing the hard work, and then they're getting all the benefits of it. So it's like that's not good, And I know that in my tenure of being in the NBA, I crippled a lot of people financially by giving them what they wanted. So it wasn't crippling to them at the time, or they didn't feel crippled, but it was crippling because I handicapped them. I put them in a position to where all they had to do was ask me. So now they're not doing anything for it. They're not learning how to save. They're not learning the value of anything. So then they lose the value of the person that's giving it to them. So now it's no respect. So yeah, a lot of NBA players, when they're done playing, you see them alone, because they've been giving so much of themselves to family, to friends and stuff like that. And now it's just like everybody's gone out the picture. So that's why you have to set that boundary and standard, and they'll love you in they'll love you even more for doing it over time. And at the time, they might not see it, so it's kind of hard because I had to deal with it. Family upset, friends upset, all that stuff. But if you live long enough, you try to do right by people, all that stuff circle back around and it'll be okay.
I like that, and we're going to pivot again. This is not supposed to go in this order, but again, we're on a good path. You just brought up the fact that during your playing days, right, there's certain obstacles that you have to navigate, obviously, especially with family. I know you've seen this video. I'm going to play it real quick, and Jeff Teague said it, and I want your opinion on what he said, okay?
You risking your whole life, kinda, like, cause you get put in this bubble where you making so much money, but you really don't know how to do anything else. Cause your whole focus is being a basketball player. So once they take basketball away from you, or if you don't make it, the moment you play, you try to make it to the league a couple years, you fall, did the G League, went overseas, you do this whole journey for 10, 12 years, and then when it's over, it's like, oh, what the fuck I do next? So you kind of looking kind of goofy a little bit, like, especially if you weren't blessed to make like a lot of money in that span. Like if you was like a guy that was making, for 10 years you played and you made 3 or 4 million. To the normal world, it's like, yeah, you good. Start your life, you got a cool life, but you don't really know what else to do.
That doesn't truly apply to you, because obviously you did make a lot of money, and I think you've had a successful career. But I will say that your career also, in my opinion, has been cut short, right? Like you can still play. I think there's a spot for you somewhere.
The thing that I've been blessed with in the NBA was I've had longevity. So I've been able to play for a long period of time. The average career of an NBA player is 3 to 4 years. So that's not a very long time. 3 to 4 years on average for most players to play in the league. You're talking about a player coming in at 19 or 21, 22 and playing till he's 23, maybe 26, and then now he's not playing anymore. What is he going to do? You just spent your whole life trying to make it to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens to a lot of players because we've been taught to only put our eggs in one basket. We've been taught to only dream one type of way. We've been taught that there's only a couple things that us as our black people or people in America can do. It's either football, basketball, baseball, soccer, a little sport. We always been put in a little box, and so you see these guys that's in the NBA, including myself. When I first got into the NBA, it was a problem that I did acting. It was a problem that I was doing commercials. It was a problem that I was traveling overseas to do all these different things. And the reason why it was a problem was because they wanted to put us in a box. They didn't want us to figure out that when we're done playing, that it's more to life, that this is only a small fragment of our life. Like, I'm almost 40 years old now, and basketball has been a big part of my life, but my life has just started. So,
Yep.
it's just like you can't even, look at it, from that standpoint. It's just you got to find out things that you're passionate about, and then you can't worry about what people are saying. It's just people, naysayers are going to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, or this, that, and the third. If I listened to all the naysayers that told me, I wouldn't be in the NBA because I had so many people tell me I would never make it. I'm not good. I'm not tall enough. I'm not big enough. All those things. So, but you got to have something to fall back on. You got to have a plan B. You got to have something to pivot to. And a lot of times we don't even think about that because we've been playing basketball for so long that all we thinking about is, man, hell, I could play till I'm 99 years old. And that's what I was thinking, that, I can keep my body in shape till I play till I can't even walk no more. But that's not how it really works. And once you get into the league and you see that, you start realizing that. So it's like, you better start getting your little side hustles together. And people make fun of us for doing that. Oh, why are you doing side quests and this, that, and the third? Why? Because basketball don't last forever, and money don't grow on trees, and we still want to live life and have fun. So of course I'm gonna do some side quests, if that's what people want to call it. But to me, it's not side quests; it's things that I've always wanted to do. So guess what? When you have put yourself in a position like a lot of us have, we do the things that we've always wanted to do. So it's not being cocky, it's not being diva-ish, it's not any of that stuff. It's saying, man, I done worked my butt off to get to this point. I'm gonna do what I want to do. If I want to go jump off a plane,
Right.
if I want to go take a dump in every room in my house, I got every right to do that. I went and bought this house. I went and did this. Like, that's the mindset that people get mad about people that do that, and it's like, I look at it as jealousy and envious. Being envy, like comparing your life or somebody's style to yours. That's where people lose so much joy, because they're comparing their lives to somebody else. Everybody's journey, everybody's body footprint is different. So there's no need to do that.
Kyle's got a question for you that we've been debating. And actually, I talked to Gilbert about this last night, but I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, it's simple. Do you think you're a generational talent?
Do I think? Yes, no doubt. I played in multiple decades in the league. For one, I think I'm a generational talent because there's things that I did on the court that's people are not doing with the ease that I was doing it. And I was able to do multiple things. I'm a multi-talented athlete that's able to do things on the court, multiple things on and off the court. So I believe that I am not just a generational talent, but a generational person, somebody that's not going to be around. Okay. It's only come around every once in a generation to do something good on the planet.
I agree. I just want to say, I didn't know how you felt about yourself for all the accolades that you have and everything that you've done personally. And I think I can speak for Darian too. I don't think you get the respect or the credit that you actually deserve. So like, how do you kind of like go through that mentally for yourself? Because you're actually a happy dude. You're always happy. You're always smiling.
Yes, and I know where that comes from. The whole, me not getting the respect and all that I deserve. When I hear that comes from the media side of wanting to push a narrative my whole career of what they want people to believe and see that I am. My whole career ever since, think about, if you just thought about it, when I was in Orlando, when I first came out, it was, he's a Christian guy, he's going to be soft, he wants to represent God, he's talking about turning the other cheek or somebody do something to him. So that was the mindset. Then after I came in and started playing, it was he plays too much. He's having too much fun. He's smiling, and then it was he can't be a Christian anymore because he had sex and got somebody pregnant. Then it was he doesn't take the game serious because he played with the Lakers and he left Kobe.
Yeah.
It's always a story to try to push a narrative on someone, but that's not who the person is or the case. So for me, my thing is the truth always outlasts a lie. No matter how long that lie lasts, the truth always outlasts a lie. And there's multiple players, multiple people who have been in the trenches and they know and they have my respect. So when it's not being respected publicly, I know that it's people or entities that are making sure that they're trying to put my name out in a certain light. So and to combat that, I've always been known to be a defensive player and stuff like that. I just had to go offensive. Everything that I'm doing is my podcast, all the stuff that I'm doing, all of my social media. This is me coming out and fighting that whole Dwight is this type of person from the media. I'm not finna fight with them in their battles and go back and forth and say that stuff. But through my actions, through what I'm doing on a daily basis, it's showing people who I am.
Before all of your podcast, what's the phrase that you guys say?
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Even see no evil.
Yes.
I love that part of it.
And I actually got that from, when I first started the podcast, it was in one of my rooms in my house where it's like a chill room where I would go and chill out, hang out, watch movies. Even though I had a theater, I just needed another room to do it in. So I was like, let me go find a room
Right.
just relax in. So, this was the room I made. I had all my crystals put in it, painted it purple, like big deep couch, a couch where I could just clear my mind. And I said, man, what if I started a podcast in here? And I had 3 pictures that I had or 3 pieces of art, and it was the art had 3 monkeys, and it said, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. And that's how everything started. And I was like, that's me. I don't want to hear no evil. I don't want to see no evil. And I'm dang sure not about to speak no evil on nobody. That's not even who I am. So that's what became the basis of the show.
Yeah.
Real quick, we did our research on this, and I had my best guys fact check it. 1, tell me if it's true, and then 2, if this is true, I want to know what Tracy and obviously G. Hill and a Dwight Howard would have looked like. Is it true Tracy really did say that he didn't want to play with a high school kid?
Yeah, he did say that.
I knew it. Fuck, that's fucked up. Okay.
I was pissed off.
Yeah, I'd have been too, bro.
I was hoping.
Because I was pissed off. I was like, hold up. Didn't you come from high school?
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm
Contradicted his
saying.
ass.
Make it make sense. You came from high school and now you're saying you want to play with somebody from high school. I just felt disrespected. Like, dang, you must think that I suck. All right, I'm finna come to the league and go crazy. But at the same time, I could feel his point. I could understand what he's saying. He been in the league a minute. He trying to win, and he think high school gonna be a project. It's gonna be some time to get right. So I understand he in the winning right now, but his way of going about it, it kind of made me look at him like, dang, Mac, like you came from high school. We could have came in together. You could have showed me the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
OG vet, but times was a little different back then. More guys were so focused and locked in on, which I get it. Themselves and trying to build a name and a legacy for themselves.
You were 6'9" coming out of high school, right?
Yeah, I played point guard coming out of high school. I was touching the top of the backboard.
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing. Like, I get it. NBA is completely different from college and high school, but averaging 26 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 8 blocks and 3 assists. Like that, it's a work in project, but a work in progress. But at the same time, like if I see them stats, it's like, all right, he's a freak of nature. Plus, he's 6'9". So it's just like
I think he was just.
I feel like it could have been a gamble.
It could have been something crazy. I don't know what he was thinking. Like, but again, it wasn't meant to happen. Because if it was, we would have been on the Magic together.
True.
But
Hindsight,
maybe I wouldn't have developed the way I would have if T Mac was there. Maybe that would have hindered my growth because
sure.
I think that anytime I played with a 2 guard, I haven't had necessarily success in, like, I would say. So you look at me and who's a 2 guard? Me and Kobe, we didn't really win. Me and James didn't really win.
You and Harden,
Yeah.
I had more success with maybe a point guard that can really get the ball in and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah, Rondo did an excellent job with you. Jameer Nelson. Yeah, of course.
Jameer, you had Jameer, then you had
Ray for Austin.
Then you had Anthony Johnson. So when I had the point guards, and I played good with Kemba.
Yeah. We'll hold off on Hornets. Wait till we get to the Hornets. I got a question for you.
About that.
That 2008-2009 playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that season rank on some of the best seasons that you've ever had? That was
12.
the run where you had you went through 76ers, Boston, and then lost in the finals. Yeah,
it's crazy how you say Cleveland, but he didn't even say Cleveland. He said Boston.
Bron. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's 2009. Yes.
2008, 2009.
Yeah, 2008, 2009.
It was just really like I worked so hard in the off season to train, and by the time the season came, it was just like everything was easy. It wasn't a struggle because I had put in the work.
Yeah.
And workouts was so tough that the one-on-one games, the 5-on-5s for the summer was so intense that by the time the season came, it was easy. It was easy to move. It was easy to do what we did. So, and, shout out to the team and Stan and how we came together to play defense. We didn't have the tallest team, the biggest team, but we were smart. And then I was just a freak of nature in the paint and all on defense. So
Yeah, they definitely played inside out basketball at that time.
Yeah, back then that's what kept us going. I was a rhythm player, so getting those easy dunks early, that's getting me amped up to want to go block some shots and stuff like that. So my time in Orlando outside of that last year was amazing.
Do you think that playoff run is maybe top 4 best playoff run by a center ever? And if you don't remember those stats, I can read them to you.
I do. I don't be getting no credit, and I think I be knowing why I don't get a lot of credit. I think there's somebody that be out there that's another center.
Nah, bro.
Find ways to
that is true.
Find ways to make my stuff look like it ain't really nothing. I remember when I got, for example, when I played in Charlotte, and even the media tried to do it. I had a 30-30 game. And
we know.
The media was like, Dwight should be doing this every game. He could have did this.
Oh, my fuck on.
And the crazy part about it was, I didn't do it in Orlando. I did it in Charlotte when y'all said that I was old and I couldn't play no more.
Yeah.
So make it make sense. Like, I didn't do this in prime Dwight like y'all said. I was doing this when I was supposed to be slow and a cancer in the locker room. So it's like they just be making up stuff, and I think that a lot of the culprits come from some centers that might have a little problem with what I'm doing.
That 30-30 game in the last 40 years, bro.
30-30 game was crazy.
It was wild. It was wild.
Especially at the time that it was happening. There's only last 40 years. I was taking what there.
It's only 35 years. Only 5 people had done it, and so for them to say
no less than that.
No,
yeah,
bro.
So for them to say,
no, two.
Me and Kevin Love.
You and Kevin Love, yeah, about to say.
So that's what I was saying. It don't make sense. Make it make sense. How could I not have respect for the game? How could I play too much? How could I not love basketball? When I played 18 years, 3 defensive player of the years,
back to back.
Where's not 18? Where's not the love for the game? So it has to be a story. Yeah. People tell stories and people just believe it. He didn't play hard. He didn't work hard. He was a cancer in the locker room.
If you played like at lax or just like not having a love for the game, then imagine who or what you would have been if you loved the game or something.
Quote unquote,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's what people say. And I'm like,
that's not the case.
How could you say that I didn't love the game? Or like, what make it make sense? He didn't go hard, but he's in the best shape of everybody on the team. So it just be like, and a lot of people don't know the ins and outs of the leagues and stuff like that, but the teams can control what's being put out in the media. I don't think people understand that. They could tell writers what to say. They could tell stories about players that's not even true. And who's going to not believe it? Think about it. People believe anything that's on the internet now. So if they see a story that's been put out by a newspaper, they're going to say, well, why would the newspaper lie? Duh. People lie all the time. So why would they lie? Duh. To tell a story.
Right after Orlando, obviously you had 2012. You had that back injury, right?
Mm-hmm. I had it twice, but that was the first time.
Yeah, first time, yeah. And that's also what kept you off the Olympic team, right?
Yeah, but they had to it was a problem that my back that I had back surgery. I'm like, Y'all realize I had a herniated disc. They had to take out a piece of my disc in my back. So,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's just weird that all this stuff was just taken, like for granted. I don't know if I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I think you're good.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, like I said, like a lot of this stuff was taken for granted that I was doing because I never showed any pain. I never showed any weakness or fear. So I think that was just what came with the territory of me. Like I'm not showing people that I'm hurting or that, anything is bothering me. All they're seeing is a smile on my face, so it's crazy.
Yeah. Man, does it ever bother you that you weren't on that team?
On top 75?
Well, no, I know that bothers you. I know that bothers you for sure. No, the 2012 Olympic team.
No, not really. I got my
Because
gold.
you were replaced by.
Yeah.
I guess essentially you were replaced by Love and Tyson Chandler, right?
But I didn't even recognize or understand what being on the Olympic team was at the time when I played. I was 21 years old. All I'm thinking about is hooping. I'm not thinking about, this is for America. Oh, say, can you see?
Yeah.
Let's go out. Like, how was I supposed to know, man? I'm only thinking about hooping. I'm 22 years old. I see Kobe out here. All these guys. I'm trying to make a name for myself. Not realizing, what all of it represents. So it means different when you get older. Had a chance to sit back. People say, how can we not see that when you're in it? Well, duh. Nobody be able to see what's going on if they ain't lived the life that we live. This is a whole different life. A whole different world. You can say whatever you want from the outside, but if you was in this,
Okay.
and I'm saying, there's a lot of people who don't lost their minds. I'm saying, I'm gonna kept my mind.
Yeah. All right, listen, this next question I'm going to ask is actually because we had Michael Carter on the pod, okay? Mm-hmm. If after you see the video and you don't want to answer it, don't answer it, or if you do answer and then you think later you want me to take it out, let me know how to remove it, okay?
Okay.
Now, can you play that clip? It's actually about the Hornets and then your respect, because I asked him, I've always seen you in a positive, or at least try to put you in a positive light with our guests, so I asked him, essentially, to me, that was a great year for you, especially that 30-30 game. Why didn't he think that you didn't get the respect you deserved? And he said, go ahead, Mel. Dwight Howard for a second. Almost 17 points, 12 and a half boards, and almost 2 blocks. What was the most slept on quality about him?
It's tough because, if it was just he was averaging 16, 12, whatever, then there would be, no debate, what's going on here? Why isn't he getting the respect that he was supposed to be getting? But I think that same year, right, he averaged those numbers, but he also led the league in offensive fouls, and he also led the league in travels. You cannot average the most offensive fouls and travels in the same season. It's got to be one or the other.
You know why I'm getting offensive fouls?
Go ahead.
This is the thing. I'm getting offensive fouls, and they calling the stuff on me, and I promise you, I swear it felt like it was only because it was me. Because I'm watching other players come down, bulldoze people. I'm watching players come down and walk with the basketball, double dribble. Y'all done seen it. You seen this, a guy that do videos strictly based off guys walking and doing all type of stuff. You ain't never seen me on none of them videos. So all of a sudden,
LeBron had one the other night.
Just think about this for a second. The year that I'm killing. When they said that I was supposed to be done, just think about what Michael Carter Williams just said. I was supposed to be done that year. I had just got from where was I before that? Atlanta? Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Atlanta.
Houston. Yeah, Houston. Yep. Or no, Houston was after that, so Atlanta. Yeah.
It's Atlanta. So I'm just leaving Atlanta. They already tried to use the whole little thing that I was a bad locker room person, but I was voted the best teammate. So then I go to Charlotte, and they're saying that I don't take the game serious. I go out there, average 17 and 13, which Bam Adebayo averaged, and he got 100 mil and made the All-Star team. I averaged 17 and 13 and get traded, and they say that I had the most travels and the most blocks. Why would they say that? So they could take down the great things that I just did for their team. I had the most travels and blocks. Really? I ain't traveled that much my whole career.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I go to Charlotte and now I have the most travels. After y'all said I was a bad teammate one year, so every year it's always a narrative. When I got to Charlotte, they tried to say I had a great year, I had 30 for 30, but why couldn't I do that the other seasons? Why does it matter? I'm doing it now.
Right.
So I get it 30-30 and it's bad. I averaged 17 to
Yep.
13. Rudy Gobert averaged 12 and 12 and got 100 M's or 200, whatever it was. So the powers who be.
I don't even want to talk about Rudy.
Yeah, he can't stand Rudy.
Yes,
Hold on, there's
Powers who be.
there's one more part to this. All right.
A lot of the times he would preach things and then like do the opposite in the games. Like we had team meetings like, yo, bro, like we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And it'd be like, yeah. And then when we get on the court, it'd be like, what happened? I think Dwight is a Hall of Famer, one of the most unstoppable players that ever touched the ball. Like he was even good as a backup big. Like he could do a lot of things. But I think if we are on the subject of what was going on with him, I think explaining the other side kind of makes more sense to people.
So what he said that I didn't listen in the locker room?
Yeah, he was saying you guys would have team meetings and have a game plan, and then you would go out on the court and do the opposite of it.
Oh, we would have team meetings.
Again, I'm not saying this is start a beef.
No,
I'm
it's
saying
okay.
this just because
It's okay
if someone's gonna say
because
that about you,
that's a good
come on.
thing for someone to say years after we wasn't on the team and not in the locker room together. You see what I'm saying? Because if that was something that was said, if we done had
Right.
plenty of meetings as a team, if you mad enough to say it in front of the podcast people and everyone in the world, be mad enough to tell me in the locker room, hey man, you said you was gonna do this in the game.
Right.
You're doing this in the game and you're doing this in practice. Make it make sense. Don't get out here now and make it seem like, oh, Dwight was this way. No. So, it's okay. I don't know where he thought that I did that, or whatever. But again, remember, that's something that he said about what I was doing. But then somebody else said I was a cancer in the locker room. One of the people that wasn't in the locker room, I was a cancer. So, again, if these things are being said, you can't run behind cameras and say it. Like, let me know if I was this type of way. Or why am I playing this type of way? Why would I do my own thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was in Orlando, my coach told the team, follow Dwight's lead on defense. He got 3 different defensive player of the year. And he's not saying it in a negative way or trying to make me look cocky, but hey, he's the center of on defense. What he's seeing out there, he's seeing it from a view that y'all can't see. This is his job. You know what I'm saying? And the coach who was on the team, he's telling me, he coached in Orlando with me. He's telling me, lead these guys on defense. Whatever you're seeing on defense, let these guys know. If you see something, do what you see on the court. A lot of times the younger players might not understand. When you're on the court, you're seeing something different from what a coach might see. So you got to make audibles. You got to change up plays. But again, if he would have felt that way, he should have told me something. We could have got that squared away a long time ago. Dang, come on, Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah. I know. Your
He's
coach
my
that year was
teammate.
Clifford?
Who? Yeah, Coach Clifford. He coached with us in Orlando.
Yeah. I just wanted to clear that up. So thank you for that.
Dang, okay.
Quick question on centers, though.
But the evolution of centers now, do you think that it's going in the right direction, or like, do you think they're getting like positionless, or do you think teams can win that way?
No. You need a center. I mean, the thing is, they're just trying to make basketball positionless.
Right.
Then why did you make 5 positions in the first place?
Right.
Center, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. You made all these positions for a reason, because they carry roles on the court. Now, if you're a coach that wants your team to be a little different and do different roles and stuff, then you have to make that clear. But as a league
Right.
and as basketball, don't say you're going to take, away centers, then bring them back, And I think all that stuff was a little ploy too, because they took centers off the ballot after I had got the most votes
Oh
in
yeah.
NBA history. Centers was off the ballot. And after I left the Lakers, they took centers off the ballot because I left the Lakers and left. Let me stop. That's a conspiracy. But no, but they took centers off the ballot. Which really makes me feel disrespected because centers are off the ballot, but then they say they need centers, but then like make which one is it? You want a center or you don't? But that's why I made a place called Center for Centers, where centers can get help for their mental health. I didn't really make a place called Center for Centers, but that was a
Oh
commercial.
I was
damn.
about to
Yeah,
say,
man,
I
you
was
had me
excited
hyped
about
up.
that.
I'm
I was about to say, I
It's
ain't
on
never heard of that.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. I did a whole video called Center for Centers.
God damn. This guy.
I mean, because like even now, I feel like a lot of the centers are like 7'2". You got Wemby, you got Chet, you got Edie, you got all
But
these
they're
tall
not
guys, but they're
centers.
not centers. They're just tall. Because how many shots did Wemby?
Because I know where they
What
got
what
them
center
from.
you know took 16 threes?
None, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. See, y'all ain't been to this place yet. Y'all gotta go. It's a place called Build a Nigga, and it's in Italy. And they build tall basketball players that's over 7'3". So this is where Wemby came from. Yao, Kevin Garnett, Edie, all these people came from building nigga. So if y'all want to get y'all a
crazy,
creative
bro.
player from 2K,
Yep. I'm going to
go there.
Oh shit.
Because it's just like everybody just like so freakishly tall now. And
It's
nobody
crazy.
is
What's
like
in
it's
the
like
food,
everybody
man?
tall and skinny.
It's the GMO, man. It's the genetically modified food. Whatever they're doing, man. Stop. Get some real food in the atmosphere, man. I know I have a league in Asia. It's called the Asian tournament. And the tallest guy in our league is 7'7".
You say 7'7"?
7.
7'7"?
Can he
7
move?
foot 7. Can he move? He's 7'7". He ain't gotta move. All he gotta do
That's
is
true.
stand by the basket.
Sit right here. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
But nah, he's 7'7", and we're actually going out to where he's from, which is in Malta. He's from the land of the giants, and so we're
That
actually
makes
gonna
sense. Huh?
go. Yeah, he's from the land of a giant. He's humongous, man. And we had to get on him in one game because he was pump faking, and we had to tell him
Yeah,
like,
Ain't no reason for him to pump fake.
I said, bro, ain't nobody gonna block your shot but God. Why are you pump faking? God don't care if you missing to make the shot. Hell, you might miss it because God gonna be mad at you. Go dunk the ball,
For
stop
pump
pump faking.
faking. What's the average?
Who you pump faking for? After we told him that, he had a 40 piece, then he had a 30 piece. Like he just went crazy. Like he's like a big old Nephilim giant. The basketball looked like a ping pong ball in his hands. One of them little Nerf balls. He a big dude.
That's crazy. See, I'm a little old school when it comes to basketball and how teams are built. Like I still think to this day, bro, I don't think you can win unless you're the Nuggets. I don't think you can win without having two good centers, right? I still feel that. I mean, look at history. Like when you guys won that bubble ring, you had JaVale. Who else was on that team? DeMarcus, right, was on that joint.
But DeMarcus didn't play that year.
Oh, that's right.
Just think about
He
it.
didn't.
If they would have brought all of us back, DeMarcus could have got a chance to come back healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was scary.
scary.
That bubble
People
Lakers was
always
scary.
do that to us. People, every time we talk about this, will be making me mad. Every time somebody talk about what could have happened if they would have kept the Lakers in 2020, people like, man, that already happened. That's a long time ago. Why we still talking about it? And then when somebody say Dwight played with Kobe and they mess it up, man, why Dwight do that to Kobe, man? He shouldn't have did that to Kobe. I'm like, bro, that was 35 years ago.
Right.
You tripping on the bubble after we won the championship. We won we won.
Yeah, you won.
We got a ring,
Yeah.
and you sitting up here talking about me and Kobe. Let it go.
Oh, damn. Let it go. I will give you credit on this too.
Said let it go.
I will give you credit on this too. I think you're one of the few people, and I know it was early on for Jokic or earlier. I think you're one of the few people though that really were able to stop him,
I'm gonna say yeah.
or at least
Stop
slow
who?
him down.
There
But
you
can't.
go. People don't know.
He said, yeah,
bro.
nah. The respect
Let
is
him
there.
know.
The respect is there.
How did you do that?
Y'all gonna be like, man, this boy Dwight crazy. We did not know he was like this until we got him on camera.
Nah,
I love
man.
it. I love it. So that candy.
Nah, it's just me. I be hyped all day. Every
Okay.
day.
Nah, I'm full.
That's tough. So some of the best actually defensive players have given you praise, bro. Like, and I mean of the highest form. So let me ask you, who's the best defensive player that you've went against?
As a big or anybody that I've seen.
No, anybody. I mean, obviously you've seen some good talent on both, backcourt and frontcourt.
I like Avery Bradley.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like Rasheed Wallace. I know he's undersized, but I like Jason McZill for
That's a
defense.
sleeper pick.
I like Jimmy Butler on defense.
Okay.
From the past, I like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He said from the past, yeah.
Nah, because he used to. It wasn't that he had great defense. It was more so his energy that he brought.
He had
Like
that
this.
dog in him
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
defense.
Another person had dog in them, but I wouldn't say their defense was immaculate, but they just had fight. Joakim Noah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He had a lot of fight. So because of the fight, because he wouldn't stop, that's his tactic. Like it wasn't like I'm gonna overpower you. I'm just overwhelm you with all my energy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with him. Ben Wallace. But I really like Rasheed over Ben, which is crazy. I know people might be like, why? But I like Rasheed over Ben. I thought
Nah,
Rasheed
I think people respect that. We had we were talking about it before about Rasheed Wallace, that he was before his time, and so he didn't get as much credit as he should have on both offense and defense. So
yeah, he's one of my favorites. Low key, people don't talk about him a lot, but he's one of my favorites.
yeah.
His defense is crazy.
What do you think the hardest part of being being a professional athlete is?
Hardest part about being a professional athlete, just the lifestyle. Like people assume being a professional athlete, people already have an assumption of who you are, especially male athletes. Whether it be you're just a dumb jock, you don't have no brain, you can't think for yourself, you got yes men, all those different things, So, as somebody that has some intelligence, but also I've experienced a lot, and I have been green in a lot of situations, but that comes from I don't think people understand the level of game that is played when people are trying to use us. It doesn't matter if it could be from, somebody that you're dating in a relationship, or it could be, in business, whatever it be. People know how to use whatever they can to get whatever they can out of you. They will lie. Money, when it comes to money, people will do anything.
Right.
So as a professional athlete, that's the hardest part, is being able to discern truth from a lie, discern people, and stay locked in and stay focused, because dealing with those situations, that could really, mess up your mental, dealing with a lot of these different things. So you got to be very strong mentally to be able to not allow the BS to break you, because it really can. The things that go on with professional athletes and entertainers can break you. You know, it could put you. I'm sorry, it could put you in a very uncomfortable place if you allow it. If you're not strong enough mentally. So, you know, I thank my parents for, you know, pushing me, and also I pushed myself to the limit because I knew what was about to come. NBA ain't no joke, man. And to be at the top, of the top, you know, is no joke. To be famous is no joke. You know, all those things come with a price. You know, when people talk about, you know, Illuminati and all this nonsense. No, that's not what I'm talking about when I say it comes with a price. What I say it comes with a price is you want to be great. It's a level of sacrifice. The higher you go up in your greatness, the more sacrifices you got to make. That's time with friends, family, you know, doing all the stuff we want to do. That's sacrifice. You got to give all that up, you know, to get something. And, you know, people might take that crazy, but that's how it works. You know, you have to give up to get. And in this case, in the NBA, you got to give up that life that's outside of that court to be the greatest.
That's tough, man. That was detailed.
I was over here, wipe my eyes away. We kind of touched on it earlier, but like we were saying, like your personality, always smiling, always laughing. Like, how do you manage just to keep that positive and just remain positive and just happy all the time?
Well, shoot, my blood type is B positive. I ain't got no choice but to be happy. But no, seriously, man. You know, my mom, she lost 7 kids. She had lost 7 kids in birth. And nobody thought that I was going to make it neither. I was 2 months premature, super small kid, baby. And everybody thought that it was over with for me. So for me, having life, you know, just itself gives me a reason to smile and be happy. And, you know, also not allowing anything to steal my joy, because there's so much out here that can. And I'm just blessed to be able to do what I do. Blessed to be able to live. You know, I did a darkness retreat a couple years ago, 3 days in the dark, no light for 3 days. Biggest takeaway from that was people don't value light itself, the ability to be able to see, you know. And so just by me knowing that, I'm always going to have a smile on my face. I know if I can wake up and see what I'm seeing right now and what I've been able to see, why would I not smile and be happy about it? You know, life is too short, it's too fast, and, you know, you really got to value each and every little moment, because you never know what can happen next. So the NBA can do a lot of things, and it can teach you about a life very fast.
You said you were a premature baby. I was as well. Were you on a breathing machine during that time? And if so, how long were you on?
I wasn't on a breathing machine. I was just really, really tiny. Like, nobody wanted to hold me. Everybody was afraid that I would break or something would happen. So then everybody was just so fragile. You know, I was fragile. Everybody was so careful. And it's been like that my whole life. Everybody that's known me and been, you know, my family, is like, man, we got to protect his heart. He's so gentle and sweet, you know. So it's been since I was a baby.
Okay. I only got 2 more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. I promise.
You good.
When you look back on your career, how does Dwight Howard want to be remembered?
When I look back on my career, actually, you know, you talking about my basketball career? That what you mean? Because that's a different question that I would answer differently if it wasn't basketball.
Say both.
Well, see, now that you're giving me alternatives, I want to hear both.
As a basketball player, you know, I want people to say that when they went and saw Dwight Howard play, that it fulfilled them. They had the most fun in their life. They smiled. They had a great time at the game. They'll never forget that moment. It was that special.
Yeah.
For my life, you know, I just want people to say, when I'm gone, here's a man that gave 110% to everything he did in his life. And the embodiment of I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You know, that's what I strive for my kids. You can do anything you put your mind to. There's not one thing that I believe that I can't do without Jesus.
I love that. I love that. I love that, man. You're a great guy.
Let's say, yeah, like you know, on the camera, get to know you more. Obviously, you more than a basketball player, but like you know, what I'm saying like, it's real easy to talk to you for real.
I appreciate that.
But so it's kind of basketball, kind of like some hypothetical. If you could build a 7-man roster, including a coach, to win a ring of your past teammates, who would they be?
7-man roster and a coach. All right. If I'm gonna go with a coach, I'm gonna go with Stan Van Gundy.
So you called it.
If I'm gonna go with players, you know that's not fair. I've had 18 years, right?
I know.
So
That means you could build a good team.
Hell yeah.
the best players in no particular order. I'm gonna have Rondo at the 1, Kobe at the 2, Bron at the 3, AD at the 4, myself at the 5, and then coming off the bench, I am gonna have do Olympic teams count?
Yeah, of
He's a
course.
teammate.
Okay. I'm gonna have Amari come off the
Really?
bench. Yeah.
That's tough.
And I'm going to go ahead and have Powell. That'll be our
What a roster.
people right there. Yeah.
That's
We
tough.
got our
That's
big-
championship. That's-
we
I was
got,
gonna
we
say-
got our forwards, we got our point guard, we got some great basketball minds, we got defensive stoppers, we got 3 bigs that can rotate time. We got obviously Kobe and Bron, and then we good with that. And then you got AD too, so that's 4 bigs really. And then if we want to go small, hell, put AD in. Well, hell, we can go small and put AD in Powell. We can have, one of them play the 5 and Bron play the 4. It don't matter how you look at it. We still got killers at each position.
Yeah, that starting
Bro,
5,
get a
they
point
playing
guard.
both sides. They'll say that starting 5. You got 4 people who play both sides of the floor, and Rondo, if he feeling it that night, he can give you 20.
Young Rondo gonna give you 20 rebounds and 15 assists.
It's 15
Where?
and 10
So
points
this right
off the
there,
fake.
I ain't doing nothing but running rim to rim, getting lobs, dunks, playing defense. That's all I gotta do. Amari doing the same thing off the bench. Nobody's stopping him. Then you got Powell. We can put Powell in and AD. They basically
Yeah.
one of them just more athletic than the other.
Yeah.
So and taller. So now we got AD and Powell that's stretching the floor. Then Brunt. Okay. Then you got Kobe the closer. Okay. Like what's going
Shit.
on? Who's stopping us?
Shit, Bron could close too.
That's what I'm saying. Who's stopping us?
Nah, yeah, that's definitely a championship team.
That's pretty much a Lakers squad minus Amari. Hey, speaking of which, speaking of Amari, you are one of 4 high school players to come in the league and average double digits. And it's you, Amari, KG, and Bron.
That's tough.
That's
Out of
that's crazy.
41
tough.
people.
That's tough. I don't think people know how difficult it is to come out of high school and hoop in this league, or just make it to the league in general. Like this, it ain't easy. It ain't easy,
Yeah.
but it's just the way of the world. People think everything we do is easy because we tall, but if y'all can really see, I ain't that tall. A lot of guys
know.
taller than
Yeah, well, I get it. Wait, I mean, shit.
I just could jump.
Yeah, you had is that true? Gil was telling me it was like a 39-inch vertical.
Yeah, my vert's 39. I'm probably at right now, probably like at a 30, probably like a 35.
The fact
Right
that you're still,
now.
Let's say it's still
it's
that
crazy,
much.
crazy, bro.
Because I be having to, when I did Dancing with the Stars, I was jumping over my partner. We
saw
had to
that.
do dances where I had to jump over her.
Yeah.
Saw that. Did you have a good time on that?
I missed it already. I had the best time of my life, man. I learned so much from being on the show.
Yeah.
It is the best thing I could have ever done. You know, so I'm very thankful for that. I actually had a chance to do the show.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So there was another show you was on.
Special Forces.
That thing I was watching that show. That show was different. I watched the one. I started watching it. Me and my wife was watching when they put y'all in the Jeep and put y'all in the water. Y'all had to get out of that. I was like, yeah, I'm dead.
You know how crazy that was when I first saw it? Like, I'm sitting there watching them drop this big old Jeep in the ocean now.
Then you gotta get out.
Just body of water. We have to wait till the truck gets filled up with water.
I'd have been
So
dead.
we're watching this, right? And as we're watching it, I'm just thinking to myself, I got to work on my breathing techniques. So that's what I was doing the whole time, waiting to go. And then we can't move. We have to wait and watch. So I'm working on my breathing techniques. And the thing is, once you get underwater, you have to just be as calm and still. You can't move while the water is really overtaking your whole body. It's filling up in front of you. You're watching it get all the way, fill you up. You still can't move. You got to wait until the staff sergeant swims up and taps you on the shoulder.
It was like 10 seconds or something like that.
No.
He said, hell no.
We down there longer than that.
No, I mean when you was underwater. After it filled, it was like 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then you had to unbuckle the seatbelt.
Longer than 10 seconds.
I was practicing at home and I died 3 times. I'm watching like, I'm dead. I died.
If you thought that one was crazy, we had to do another one later on where they tied up our hands and our feet. And we had to touch the bottom of the lake floor, push up to the top, catch air, go back to the bottom. We had to go up and down the lake 25 times. But this is after we had to swim across the lake with a weighted vest on.
Nope.
So like we're doing this stuff was getting tear gas, getting set on fire, kidnapped.
It was a weird show.
Yeah, but it really taught me a lot about myself. Like, I can do anything. Yeah. Like I told you, like, there's nothing nobody can say. Like, I know I could do it. Like, and it's not a cockiness. It's not like I'm got the big head or thinking that, I'm high and mighty. No, I know I could go accomplish anything. Like, I could go set a goal and complete it because my will is a lot stronger and my mind is a lot stronger than it was before. And it just continues to get stronger.
Right.
Yeah, I think people mistake confidence for cockiness a lot.
Yes. Because it's a fine line. You have to be confident in this world. And you have to be a little cocky. But it's a fine line between cocky confidence and arrogance.
Yes.
Right.
That's the word you're talking about.
I ain't got life lessons.
That's what I'm saying. Man, I really fuck with you. I really fuck with you. You're a great guy, man. Goddamn. Nah, I'm not joking when I say this. You might be the best guy that we've had a chance to meet.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's time to celebrate. Champagne bottle, get the glasses. Let's toast for all the better days. Yeah, I kinda feel away, cause I wish them the best, but I can tell if niggas feel a fake. Yeah, watch me demonstrate. Too authentic, could never imitate. I can feel the weight, give me space. It get tough, I got some in a pillowcase. I don't want no smoke like arenas, but I'm still a whiz kid like a genius. On the scene with the demons, and then you're KD from the deep end, and you might get cooked if you reaching. Now you won't lose. Come on like Superman, too tough when I'm hopping out the phone booth. The White Howard with the post moves, and then Tally Media, this boy a nigga gotta go too.